And on top of the fact that they're superstars and they're tremendous talents, but you, it's scary for us because we gave up so much, and there's so much that just went out the window that you want to believe in what they're doing, and the statements that they're making is one, offense is our priority. We score. We stack the lineup with people who score, and and that's what the Nets are good at. You know what? Nets almost have to admit that that's what they're good at. And what they can't do is defend. And I think we just have to be realistic that this team is going to confront some young, springy teams, and they're going to just beat the brakes off of us on some nights.
I actually, my friend told me. My friend told me today that he bet the Nets in the spread, and I was like, "You're out of your mind."
Oh,
I was like, they
no.
never play well in Cleveland, and this is a big team that has young, explosive guards. Like you're like that. You're losing money.
You know why I hate that Sexton got us like that?
Why?
Because he's the last pick
Yep,
that we traded away to Boston.
yep, makes sense.
he he basically was something we wasted and got wasted on Kyrie. If you're Boston, oh man, that's ugly. So let's do three things. I'll go first because there was something I saw tonight that I think typified what happened in this game.
Right
Um,
on.
um, so we're gonna start with the play. There was a moment where it was like it's actually two or it was a staggered in a series of four plays. It was three of them, and Jarrett Allen was successfully defending Harden's step back. I couldn't believe it. He was locking James Harden up, and it's hard to say locking James Harden up because, truthfully, you know, he's James is gonna get his. He had a hell of a night, but to see how I mean, not a hell of a night for James Harden standards. He had 21 and 10. He had a triple double, and that wasn't a good game for James Harden. He also was -5 tonight. Kevin Durant of the trio was the only one that had a positive evening of a +2, but James Harden wasn't James Harden tonight. But we could say that without slighting him. But watching Jared Allen lock up uh, James Harden, to me, it was a little demoralizing. But it makes me feel good to know that the Nets didn't want to trade him and didn't want to add him to the trade. And the reason why it took so long to get Harden here was because they were holding out and keeping Jared Allen. Well, we saw why tonight. We definitely did. But now that we've traded him, we have to find a way to replace him. That's key, and that play told me that that's key. What play did it for you?
I had a really bad feeling about the game. I mean, as I mentioned with my betting advice, I was not feeling great about it. Once Larry Nance started hitting some threes, I lost. I was like, all right, this is not only is this not like a great matchup, not only do they not seem interested, but now my man Larry Nance is hitting threes over like KD, and I was like, all right, then that's it. Like, that'll do it.
Yeah, no. They didn't even like really kill us rebounding wise. They just out younged us. I that one hurt. I thought we won that game. I was like,
I know you
I
did.
walked away from it like, yo, we won, right? Like, I was texting you and all like, all right, let's pod.
Yep.
All right, so give me your stat of the night.
I mean, I was gonna say the low hanging fruit is Sexton's line. I mean the Cavs are a bad team. The Cavs are a bad offensive team, and they were 20 of 40 from three. Like it's hard to win games when you're playing a team that's defensive minded, but you give up 60 points on threes. Not easy to win.
Yep.
How about you?
I think the easy and obvious one tonight for me is Jared Allen's +10. Right? I'm sorry. You know what? I gotta swallow my whistle. I gotta swallow my whistle. And call call an audible at the line here. Taurean Prince was +20 tonight. All hell Taurean Prince. We're not gonna like as much as I wanna laud Jared Allen. Jared Allen played a beautiful game, stepped in, got 31 minutes, played all of overtime. 12 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists. I think I reread his line because I'm still like I remember salivating over it. He got busy tonight, but he was only +10. Taurean Prince, oh hell, so it's officially Taurean Prince revenge game. He was a +20 tonight. I think that tells you everything you need to know. Go ahead, Sam. What stat Gabe told the story tonight?
No, I told you my stat. It was the 20 of 40 from from three.
Oh.
That's a big game. I'm also losing it right now. I was just talking to somebody and said, like, at this point, even though I'm still quote unquote young, I remember the Nets Raptors series getting so emotionally invested to the point that my stomach was turning, and I was like, I can't do this after regular season games, let alone like playoff games, because I'm just like wake me up for like a finals game or something like that, because it's not fun to take it this seriously at this stage.
Yeah. it's it's mind-boggling, to be honest. All right, who was the player that most typified this game for you?
It was such a team effort of a demolition on their defense that I find it hard. I'm actually going to go with someone who was quiet towards the end, but led their team in minutes, and that's Chetty Osman, who I thought totally outworked the Nets in a lot of different ways. He was 25, 7 and 7, played 50 minutes, 9 of 17 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3. I thought he just looked like the scrappy guy that was just trying to make the team, and I thought he set the tone.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Joe Harris. I don't know why it was such a tough game for him tonight. He seemed coming off the bench, like that's why that whole bench conversation. I almost feel like he fits better with the starters than Harden does. But there's no way on God's green earth that you're putting James Harden into the starting lineup.
I texted a friend saying how
onto the bench rather. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I texted someone full circle, and I was like, I was like, how full circle would it be for Harden to go play with his friends, only to be relegated again to the 6-man role that he was with KD the last time they played.
It's almost as if they have too much of a good thing. They have too much offense, because you can't say Kyrie had a bad game. He had an alpha male Kobe Bryant game. 37 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Kevin Durant, you can't say he had a bad game. He struggled a little bit. He only shot 48%. That's not Kevin Durant-ish. Kevin Durant shoots above 48% a game. But still, 38, 12 rebounds, 8 assists. That's a superstar game. What they're missing is part of what they traded and what they really needed. I think they needed a 4. I think they needed a player that would do the other things, not score. Yep. They scored the heck out of the ball to a team that doesn't score. The Cavs only averaged 99 points a game. They scored 147 in double overtime. That's a problem. And while, Joe Harris, he didn't look bad tonight. He was out there giving effort. But if Joe Harris shoots 20%, you're not winning. So Joe Harris, for me, is the player that kind of tells the story. The reason they lost is because Joe Harris didn't shoot above 30%. Joe Harris shoots above 30%. They win this game. But they don't win a lot of other games. They don't win championship level games. Joe Harris has to shoot a lot better than that. And the rest of the team has to play better defense because, truthfully, this team is not built to play, championship level, top 10 in the NBA defense. It's just not. The potential's not here in the roster either. So, Sean Marks has work to do. If he wants to be a championship GM, he can't surrender it to these guys. He's got to figure out something with these 3 picks because this isn't an offensive problem. This isn't even a superstars fitting together problem. James Harden does not add to fixing the problem. It's like I said, it's almost too much of a good thing. I don't know. Are we in trouble, or are we over exaggerating? Are we being over exaggerating? Living off of every game on the edge.
You know what? I just saw a great. This is basically why I I love doing this podcast more than anything, and believe me, way more than my other life, which is doing law school work all the time. But the reason why I'm just at this point just cannot get that worked up after these regular season games is because, unlike a team where you're watching people like someone like Jared Allen get better, this is a team that has one purpose. Like, it is for a parade down Atlantic Avenue, and that is it. Correct. And I think it's very telling. We just saw a tweet from Billy Reinhart, who said Brooklyn's wins are against Golden State, Boston, Atlanta, Utah, Philadelphia, Denver, the Knicks, Orlando, and Milwaukee. So basically almost all playoff teams. Their losses this year are to Charlotte, Memphis, Atlanta, Washington, Memphis, Oklahoma City, and Cleveland. So their losses are all to non-playoff teams, basically. This team is basically picking and choosing when they're
That's a good one, Billy. Billy, I love Billy.
This team,
Billy's my guy.
This team is picking and choosing. Yeah, you know what I mean? But it's true.
No, that's an excellent point. And we'll know what it is when playoff starts. And by the time playoff starts, they'll find a rhythm. They'll find a chemistry. It's just, again, I wonder how this grand experiment ends. And the question is, can you win a championship with the ultimate offensive players? All-time great offensive players. This is not even, really good for that era. These are top 20 players. Harden could average the triple-double if he wanted to. He could literally do what Westbrook did, by force, kind of. Like, he could be helping his team and do that. And that's how good this kid is. And so now, and we already know what Kyrie and Durant is. Like, I think Kyrie is every bit as, a spectacle as they are. But you could just score the ball but so much.
Yep.
you have to be able to defend. And sometimes